think my favorite place was actually when we split into our separate groups, and my group went to Parma, and it was cool just because we could explore like the whole city on our own. We didn't have any like rules or anything. We just kind of did it on our own, and it was cool to explore that and just kind of get a feel for the city by ourselves. And you know, we talked to like the locals, and it was a lot less touristy than the other places we went, so that was pretty cool to see.
I think my favorite place we went was probably Lake Como. It was like really pretty, and we went on a boat ride and got to take lots of pictures, and it was really cool. So I think Lake Como was probably my favorite.
I actually don't have a favorite place that we visited. I think that all of the cities were unique in their own way. Obviously you get the big city feel with places like Milan and Venice, but then the smaller cities like Lake Como and Ferrara, which is where one of my little groups went, they just have their own unique feel, and no place is like any other place, so it's hard to have a favorite.
Definitely the gelato. I always tried the flavors that like I didn't know what they were. They're always in like Italian. Everyone liked Bisco Croc flavor. It was like a cookie flavor. I did try a piece of pizza with French fries on it, which seemed very American to me, but that was funny.
I am Italian, so I've tried a lot of like the different types of pasta and pizza, but I think just the different types of gelato was cool for me. I'm an ice cream lover, like I'm addicted to ice cream, so I think the gelato there was my favorite.
We stopped at this little mall, and outside there was a man selling crepes with Nutella, and oh my god, it was so good. So I think that had to be my favorite thing, but they had a lot of sweets and those were awesome.
Culture shock moments, I think not anything that I didn't expect. I think the biggest thing was just the language barriers, obviously. Knowing a little bit of Spanish, it's a lot like Italian, so I was able to figure out sometimes what the people were trying to tell me, but a lot of times I just had to kind of fake that I knew what they were saying, because we really had no idea, but we just tried to be nice.
We did take a taxi one night, and that was like the scariest thing ever, because they are just reckless. They're reckless in general there, like they don't stop for pedestrians or anything, but I mean, there's no lanes, and we were just like dodging cars the whole time, so that was scary.
They were great. I think in the beginning we started off a little rocky just from the jet lag and just sightseeing all day, but as the trip went on we got better and better, and I think the team is happy with the way that we finished.
It was really fun playing these different teams because, I mean, even though it is just volleyball, they have such a different style, and just like the ball was different. A lot of things about it were different, but we got into the groove of it as the week went on, and it was a lot of fun because they were really competitive, and you know, they brought their best, so it was awesome.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to say this, but when Lex fell in Milan, we were crossing the street and we didn't really get the whole crosswalks. So I think Courtney ran out, and so Lex followed and completely laid out flat in the middle of the street where like the tram tracks are, and there's like a tram coming, and it was really funny though. There were like people around us that we didn't know that were laughing at her.
One time we were taking the tram home the same night of the concert, and we got like the tram like stopped at this one stop. We had no idea where we were, and it was about halfway in between Milan, the city, and our hotel, and we just got dropped off, and there was like people telling us to get off. They were like, "Termine, termine," with like X's, like going like this, like we had to get off, and we were just like, okay, like just following the rest of the crowd because we were so lost. And then we had to sit at this one stop for about 15 minutes, and eventually found our way back, but it was interesting.